Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving deep into the heart of what it means to be human. We're talking about emotional maturity. Not just something on a therapist's checklist, but the kind of stuff that makes relationships work, helps us navigate the hard days, and honestly, just lets us like ourselves a little bit more. We're going to unpack this idea of emotional maturity, break it down so it's not some vague concept, but something we can actually see in ourselves and in our lives. Because here's the thing, emotional maturity isn't about being happy all the time or never feeling your feelings. It's about showing up for all of it, the good, the messy, and everything in between, with courage and with heart. So, if you're ready to ditch the self-help cliches and get real about what it takes to grow, you're in the right place. We'll explore 7 signs of emotional maturity, signs that you're on the right track, that you're building a life on a foundation of self-awareness, compassion, and wholehearted living. The first sign of emotional maturity, you're not afraid of your own feelings. You don't try to stuff them down or pretend they're not there. You get curious about them. When anger bubbles up, do you explode on others? Or can you pause, breathe, and ask, what's really going on here? Emotional maturity isn't about being stoic. It's recognizing our emotions as valuable information. They deserve to be heard, not judged. When we feel our feelings fully, we create space for understanding and connection. Imagine having a tough day. Instead of bottling it up, you acknowledge your feelings. You say, I'm feeling stressed and inadequate, and then offer yourself some kindness. It's okay to feel this way. Everyone makes mistakes. That is emotional maturity in action, being brave enough to be present with your whole self. Sign number 2 of emotional maturity is getting outside of your own head and stepping into someone else's shoes. It's about empathy, connecting with another person's experience, seeing the world through their eyes, understanding that your way isn't the only way, and other people's feelings are valid. Empathy isn't always easy. It takes effort, intention, and sometimes discomfort. How do you react when a friend is going through a tough time? Do you try to fix it for them? Or are you able to just listen and validate their feelings? That's the heart of empathy. Saying, I see you, I hear you, and what you're going through matters. Recognizing everyone is fighting their own battles, offering support without judgment. Empathy is the bridge that connects us as human beings. So, the next time someone shares their story, really listen. Put yourself in their shoes. Try to understand their perspective, even if you don't agree. You might be surprised by the depth of connection you feel. Let's talk about responsibility. Not the kind they teach you in school, but the kind that comes from deep within. The kind that says, I am in charge of my life, my choices, and my reactions. That, my friends, is a huge sign of emotional maturity. It means owning up to your mistakes, not blaming others, and understanding that you have the power to create change in your life. It's about recognizing that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond. Think about a time when you messed up. Maybe you said something hurtful, or you dropped the ball on an important project. Did you make excuses? Did you blame someone else? Or did you own it, apologize if necessary, and figure out how to do better next time? This isn't about being perfect. None of us are. It's about having the courage to look in the mirror and say, okay, I messed up. What can I learn from this? How can I grow from this experience? It's about understanding that every mistake is an opportunity for learning and growth. It's about letting go of the need to be right all the time and embracing the messy, imperfect journey of being human. Because here's the thing, when we own our stuff, we step into our power, we become architects of our own lives rather than passive passengers. Chapter 4. Sign number 4. You're playing the long game. This next sign of emotional maturity, it's all about patience. Not just the ability to wait in line without losing it, but the deep down understanding that good things take time. It's about resisting the urge for instant gratification and choosing to invest in the long-term payoff. Think about it. Are you constantly chasing the next quick fix, the instant dopamine hit? Or are you willing to put in the work, to be consistent, to trust that the seeds you plant today will blossom in due time? That's the difference. It's about delaying gratification, about choosing the path of slow and steady growth over the allure of instant but fleeting rewards. Imagine this. You're working towards a big goal. Maybe it's starting your own business, writing a book, or learning a new skill. It's challenging, it's time-consuming, and there are moments when you just want to throw in the towel. But instead of giving up, you dig deep. You remind yourself that Rome wasn't built in a day, that greatness takes time, and that the most rewarding journeys are often the ones that test our patience. That's emotional maturity, having the wisdom to choose the long game, to trust the process, and to find joy in the journey, even when it's challenging. All right, here's the thing about life. It's constantly changing. Nothing stays the same forever, and that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It's beautiful. And embracing this truth, leaning into the unknown with curiosity and courage, that's a major sign of emotional maturity. Think about it. When faced with change, do you dig in your heels, resist with everything you've got, and cling desperately to the familiar? Or do you see it as an opportunity for growth, a chance to step outside your comfort zone and discover new possibilities? That's the difference. It's about recognizing that change, even when it's scary or unexpected, is an inevitable part of life. It's about letting go of the need to control everything and trusting that even when things fall apart, you'll find a way to piece yourself back together, stronger and wiser than before. Imagine this. You've been offered an incredible job opportunity, but it requires you to move to a new city, start over, leave behind everything you know. That's a big change. It's natural to feel scared, uncertain, maybe even a little heartbroken. But instead of letting fear hold you back, you take a deep breath and you say yes. You choose to embrace the unknown, to step into the river of change and trust that it will carry you to incredible new destinations. That's emotional maturity, having the courage to say yes to life, even when it looks different than what you expected. Let's talk about boundaries, not walls, but fences. Fences that protect your energy, your time, and your emotional well-being. Setting healthy boundaries is one of the most loving and courageous acts of self-care, and it's a definite sign of emotional maturity. Think about it. Do you find yourself constantly saying yes to things you don't want to do just to please others? Do you struggle to set limits in your relationships, even when it's draining your energy and leaving you feeling resentful? That's where boundaries come in. It's about recognizing that you have the right to protect your time, your energy, and your emotional well-being. It's about learning to say no without guilt, to prioritize your needs, and to create healthy space for yourself to breathe. Imagine this. You're feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. You desperately need some time alone to recharge, but your phone is blowing up with requests. Friends who want to hang out, family members who need favors, colleagues who need help with projects. In the past, you might have said yes to everything, even though it meant sacrificing your own well-being. But this time, you choose differently. You politely decline, explaining that you need some time for yourself. And here's the beautiful thing about boundaries. When you set them with love and respect, you teach people how to treat you. You create a space for healthier, more balanced relationships. Here's a secret. We all have negative thoughts sometimes. It's part of being human. But the difference between someone who's emotionally mature and someone who isn't, it's not about never having negative thoughts, it's about what you do with them. Think about it. Do you let your negative thoughts run wild like a runaway train derailing your day? Or are you able to observe them without judgment, challenge their validity, and choose a more empowering perspective? That's the key. Recognizing that our thoughts are not facts. They're just thoughts, and we have the power to choose which ones we want to believe, which ones we want to fuel our actions. Imagine this. You're working on a project and things aren't going as planned. Self-doubt starts creeping in, whispering insidious little lies like, "You're not good enough," or "You're going to fail." In the past, you might have let those thoughts paralyze you, convince you to give up before you even really started. But this time, you choose differently. You acknowledge the negative thoughts, but you don't let them define you. You remind yourself of your strengths, your past successes, and your ability to learn and grow. That's emotional maturity. It's about becoming the observer of your thoughts, the master of your mind. It's about choosing to focus on the positive, to believe in yourself, and to create a life that aligns with your values and aspirations. So, there you have it. 7 signs that you're on the path to emotional maturity. Remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up as your most authentic self, even when it's messy, even when it's hard. It's about embracing the full spectrum of human emotion, about cultivating empathy and compassion, about taking responsibility for your actions and your choices. It's about being brave enough to set boundaries, to embrace change, and to choose the long game. And most importantly, it's about recognizing that emotional maturity is a journey, not a destination. It's a lifelong practice of self-awareness, growth, and wholehearted living. So be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress, and never stop learning.